Attention! All things shared in this video are simply the opinions of the Unexplained Files. The following footage is not tampered with, and all of the events and reactions are unplanned and genuine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Unexplained Files, the greatest place for all things unexplained in the whole entire world. Very recently, we were given the opportunity to tour somewhere that throughout my entire childhood and teenage years that has been surrounded for rumours for as long as I can remember. It's a place that has gathered the eyes and attention of everyone in the local area for nearly 140 years, and tonight, I want to tell you a part of its story. Built in 1885, Seafield House was intended to be a summer home by a man named Brinsley de Courcy Nixon, who was a prominent banker in London at the time. Being built and perched upon a cliff edge overlooking the sea in the area, Seafield House is known for its isolated nature. Deciding to build his summer home in Westward Ho, being known for its exclamation mark, Westward Ho seemed to be the perfect location. It's been a holiday destination for people for hundreds of years, and with its beautiful sea views, it seemed perfect. Although he didn't want to be too close to everybody else, and the house, right from the very start, was built isolated at the very end of the town. So well known was his family and his home that at his time of passing, the local newspapers read, "Deceased gentleman whose unassuming manner and great kindness of heart had endeared him to a large circle of friends. In the quiet way he did everything in his power for the common good." After Brinsley's passing, the house was left in the family, and their future families would one day visit, spending time in the local town and visiting Seafield once a week. During the years of the war, the army requisitioned Seafield home, painted it grey, and used the building as accommodation for British Army officers. As well as being accommodation for British officers, the field next to Seafield House was used to hold Italian prisoners of war. And although the army requisitioned the home during the years of the war, thankfully once the war had ended, the home was returned to the family. A few years prior, and during the years of war, the house was most frequently visited by a lady called Elizabeth. Elizabeth married the youngest son of Brinsley, also called Brinsley. She often noted that she hated the colour grey that the house had been painted, and after the war was over, the house was returned to Elizabeth and the family. And upon revisiting the home, for the first time in years, she noted that the place was filled with maps all over the walls, but she quickly got rid of them and had the place redecorated and repainted. Sadly, however, only 5 years after the home had been returned to the family, Elizabeth died on the 13th of March 1950. After her death, the family felt that nobody could love the home as much as Elizabeth did, and knowing this, they decided to put the home up for sale. Having only been put on the market in 1950, the house was snapped up the same year, and it was renovated and reopened as a bed and breakfast. The house was regarded as a place the entire family could enjoy. According to a family who stayed there in 1962, the B&B was a wonderful place for the entire family. The children were even allowed to run up and down the flights of stairs and slide up and down its banisters. It remained open as a B&B for several more years, where unfortunately it became run down and neglected. The house continued to be neglected and continued to crumble. And not only the house, the cliff around it was being eroded by the sea, but this only ever added to its story and its presence. Despite being run down and neglected, it was still known to be the residence of two elderly people. After her brother passed away, an elderly lady known as Jean was the sole resident of the home until 2015, when she herself was moved into residential care. And in the years following, the home was sold, after which furniture and items from the home were sold over time. Today, the home stands just as imposingly as it did nearly 140 years ago. With potential plans to reopen as a B&B and to restore it to its former glory, Seafield House's story is not over yet. The stories of hauntings in Seafield House have been around for as long as the house itself has been, and with time the rumours began to swell and became more well known. People say that within the home the sounds of children crying or laughing and playing can be heard, and this has led teams of paranormal investigators to visit the home to try and find that evidence for themselves. Whether you want to look at it for its rumours of the paranormal, or perhaps notice it for its imposing appearance, or maybe even just enjoy the history of it, Seafield House is to this day still a focal point in the town of Westward Ho. With all that said, that is a very brief story of Seafield House, Westward Ho's almost 140-year-old supposedly haunted home. What would you guys think if we were given the opportunity to investigate this place? If you want to hear more stories of historic places, unexplained happenings, conspiracy theories and more, then this is the perfect place for it. I'm going to stick an iCard up there for you so you can check out our playlist for case files and find more. If we visit Seafield House, what do you think we find? Will we just find an old, dilapidated building to explore? Will we hear the sounds of children screaming and playing from the other side? Who knows? But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed this evening's video. Just as there was an iCard for the Case Files playlist, I will stick some more iCards up there throughout the videos if you would like to check out our paranormal investigations, or if you would like to check out our reactions. We take a look at the internet's best paranormal footage. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to catch you again on the next one. Goodbye.